All right, market update here on the 28th. Actually, starting here with AMD today. This is a stock that I traded. Um, it was down here at 168 today, and I traded this pretty much all day just based on the setup. I'm going to go into why I traded this and where I thought it was going to go. So we had this move back down here, and this is one of my favorite setups here. You have A, and you have a B wave that breaks the top of the A wave, then you have a C wave down. My favorite spot to buy down in this area, because you know that this is a corrective move, so you're likely going higher. So while everybody else was thinking this is bearish, I was just ready for this to rip to new highs, and that's exactly what it did. What this is, though, is tough to tell. It can be WXY still. It could be a 5-wave move as well. I think it's likely 5 waves. But if it is WXY, then it can go all the way to 190. So here are the two paths that I see for AMD. So 5 waves there. Or this is W, X, Y like that, and this is the A wave like that. So those are two possibilities for AMD. I think it's going higher. If you look at the move down, we have not even retraced to the 0.5 fib yet. 0.5 fib is at 178. So I think AMD has some more upside, and I think there's a very good chance actually tomorrow it might gap up. It's tough to say on lower time frames. I have this labeled as 1, 2. This might be the end of the third wave right here, and a sharp fourth wave right here. Maybe it sees a little bit more downside. What I'm looking at are supply and demand. You have supply up here, you have demand down here. I'm looking for it to hit one of those areas. I'm holding a call, I'm holding a put now. Obviously I sold everything that I had going into the day up in this range. But I rebought a call around 171-ish, and I bought a put around the same area. So if this comes up here to 176, then I'll likely sell some of my shares and my call, and then reload my puts, or add to my puts. If it comes down here, then I'm going to add to my calls. So we're kind of in no man's land right now, and that's why I took most off the table right here. And I'm just waiting for this to break one way. I don't know which way it's going to go tomorrow. That's why it was pretty obvious right here that this was going to hit this area right here. The 1.61 fib got hit, depending on where you take it from, right here. So it's possible that the 5 waves is already finished too. This was an impulse move down pretty much. So if that's the case, let's just say 5 waves ended short of the supply zone, then I'm waiting for a 5-wave move down here, potentially to 167. I can buy calls here, cash my put, and then cash my calls on a bounce. So I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens tomorrow. These are the two zones I'm looking at. It's super bullish on the daily. You have the 20 and the 50. Down here, you're above all the moving averages. 200's below that. The only thing that could happen to make it even more bullish is the 20 could cross the 50, which could actually happen here soon if it stays up here. But yeah, if it ends up being WXY, then obviously I'm looking for, whenever this ends, I'm looking for a dip, probably back down to here, and then this move up to here. So a lot to take in, but there's a possibility that this is a 5th wave. I don't know yet either on that. Sometimes you don't know. You just have to just go with whatever works on smaller time frames. We hit the 1.61 fib here. We didn't cross into the first wave, so this could easily be a 5-wave move too. It could be like that, or this is ABC, and then that was a first wave down, and we're just retracing for a second wave. So Really, I'm not really worried about that for now. I'm just following the pattern on the smaller time frame. We'll see what happens. Bullish short term, not sure in the long term. So that's AMD to start it off. That's the one I traded today. I'll go over Tesla for just a second, but really, Tesla is kind of hard to read here. So my original thoughts were we were going to come up here, pull back, and then move up here to like 180, kind of like this. But instead, this made a new low. So I think it's likely to go higher here. I think this could be, this could still be ABC. So A, B, and we're in the middle of a C wave higher. But however, then you get this move right here that looked like it was going to be 5 waves, and it came back down like this. So just a lot of corrective moves. So in this situation, I think really looking at LA wave isn't going to help you that much. You have to just know the zone to when to buy and sell. So I'm looking down here at 172, and I'm looking up here at 183. At the extremes, I'll probably buy calls. At the extreme the other way, I'll buy puts. I'm expecting the overall market to go up. So with that being said, this is probably going to go up too. I wouldn't be surprised to see 183 to 186. But again, it's kind of wait and see when you have this chop like this. Overall, bullish still on Tesla. This is just some kind of corrective move. We don't know if it's going to go like that now. We don't know if it's going to go like that. But I would suspect it's going to do something like this. Or like I showed in the last video, it's going to be, let's see, something like this. Depending on where I draw this to. So I could see something like this. That would keep it above the 20 and 50, and then it could finally blast off. So Tesla, just kind of a waiting game, not really very much conviction either way on the short-term time frame. So I'm not really in that many options on this one. It is still, no, it's not. It's below the 20 now. Still has support on the 50. So it needs to hold the 50 here. And we'll see what happens. If it gets below the 50, that would be pretty bearish. Then I'd be looking at something down here at 160-ish. So again, next couple of days are pretty critical on Tesla. But overall, still bullish structure. SPY, another great setup, like I talked about on AMD. I bought calls at 527.50-ish today, and it finished up. Because, again, same thing as AMD. Great setup. A, C, and then you get this big move higher, and you get a ABC retracement. I'm looking for 533 next, and I think this can go all the way up here to 537 to end the overall third wave. And then I'd be looking for more pullback, or just a little pullback, and then potentially a fifth wave up to like 550, like this. So I'm bullish. I'll probably take profit if we get up here to 533 because you're probably going to get a fourth wave. Maybe I'll hold a little bit longer, but invalidation is just below 524.75. QQQ is the same setup, a little bit different. This went way past there and then came all the way back down here into demand. We got this move right here. Didn't retrace that much. So it's a little bit different, but overall, probably looking at the same thing, maybe like 470. So another 2.5% higher potentially for QQQ before an actual dip. And that would be the end of the overall, let's see. This right here is the third wave of the third wave. So so this should be the fourth wave. So I'm looking for the third wave to hit 470 and then pull back and then another move higher after that. So it's crazy back here when I was buying down in this area, everyone was bearish. And all you had to do was look at standard deviations and just see we were way outside there. So the chances of us going here and coming back down are very unlikely. And sure enough, we're just melting up now. You can see here we have a lot of room to get to +2 standard deviations. And you know what? I didn't really look at any of the other stocks today. I looked at Shop. So I don't want to go into too many stocks that I haven't looked at and try to guess off the top of my head. Shop does not look good to me. I don't like it. I think it can come up here to 60 bucks maybe. But this is a horrible setup here. It looks like a horrible setup to me at least. Let me zoom in here a little bit farther. Yeah, it just looks to me like it's probably going to start a C wave higher. But if you zoom out here on the weekly time frame, this could potentially go all the way down to 38 bucks, which sounds kind of crazy, but yeah, 1, 2, we're only in the third wave of the third wave. It's trying to make a fourth wave here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Probably down here to 50 bucks, bounce, potentially go lower than that. Maybe it gets stopped here too. It could stop here between 45 and 50 bucks. But I'm not really interested until this level now. I had a swing trade over the weekend and I sold it at like 57.75. I didn't really like it anymore. So Shop is not really high on my list right now. GME bounced today. It came close to hitting 27, but on this one I took profit on my sold puts. I'm just looking for this to come back down. I think this is an expanded flat here, so kind of like that. So I'm expecting a move down here soon. Maybe it has one more move up here to 27 to fill the gap before heading down. Could potentially be looking at 10 bucks sometime in June. We'll see though. And then the dollar is not moving. No reason to go over it right now. The VIX is not moving. Palantir is not moving. Meta looked pretty good. Lululemon. I sold a put on this way too early. I think I mentioned that maybe a week ago. And I wasn't expecting this big of a dip. It's still in this demand zone, but it looks like today actually completed the fifth wave. So I think this is pretty much done. They have earnings on the 5th. I think this is a great buy. You completed 5 waves now. It's just a matter of when it bounces. My break even's at 312, so I'm not really that worried about it. But for now, I'm down a couple $1,000. So we'll see what happens with Lululemon. I'm expecting a new uptrend to emerge here soon. I wouldn't want to see it drop below 286. So it needs to start bouncing, and then they need to have good earnings for this to bounce back. My first spot would be at 322. be my first target based on that gap there. So that's pretty much it from this video. I'm expecting higher the next couple of days, maybe into PCE. And then I'm looking for a slight sell-off, and then, like I said in the video, higher after that. But we're looking maybe at the end of June or maybe into July being the top in the market, and then we sell off into the election. You got to think too, like they want to make their clients happy. So into the end of June, that's going to be the end of the second quarter. We're probably not going to get any big dips in June, I wouldn't think. Probably just going to melt up. And then in July, they can start doing the dip. Usually that's like seasonally more weak, going into like August, September, that time. So anyway, that's it for this video. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe if you're not already, and let me know if you have any stocks you want me to look at, and I will talk to you later.